Hex community jobs. What is it? Where did it come from? What what could it evolve into? Like what do you yeah, tell us
Sure.
a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when I came in, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, I've always had, started, sold businesses, operate businesses. And when I came in to the community, I wanted to give back to the community. Like there's so many of us that are, like you are and everybody else. But so I just kind of went around and kind of polled people of like, hey, I see all these projects and I see people looking for people. What do you think about a job board? And I went to some of the main players that are been in the community for a long time, and they all said, "Well, everybody's talked about it, but nobody's done it."
Mm,
So I decided to do it. So that's really how it came together. And then I, partnered with Anson, who is the design side of it all,
mm,
um, and we put it together. I mean, Anson built it, and we had it up in goodness, I think 2 weeks probably. We had it up and rolling, and we tweak it, here and there. It was kind of funny because when we started, we thought, well, it's just going to be a place where people will go post jobs. Well, what was
mhm,
happening? People were going in there and posting their skills, and looking for work or looking to be included on the projects. And then we're like, well, we need to change it and add that as well.
mm.
So it's either a place where you can go look for work or you can go and post, all the skills that you have where other people can find you. So, yeah.
And
So,
so what kind of planning went into doing that? I imagine you said it took around 2 weeks to launch. Did you and Anson sit down and kind of like kind of design it together, or did you have like a set of requirements, like a formal like, hey, we want to have this and this. How do we make that happen? Do we have access to technology? Do we need to go rent some cloud servers? Do we need to do this and that?
sure. Yeah. I mean, we, just come together and put everything on paper of our ideas. I mean, it was the concept of it was my idea. And I kind of had an idea of how I wanted it to work. And then Anson just kind of made it come together. Um, but our idea, I mean, originally it started out with just on paper, and then we both kind of looked at, other um, job boards around and just kind of said, I like that option. I like this option. And we just kind of brought it all together that way. Um,
What would you tell someone who's trying to start a new project, maybe similar or has a different ideal, but like just putting it together in that time? Like, what would you have done different? Do you think, if anything?
um, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'd do anything different, Max, because I am the kind of guy that's just like, I bust doors open. I don't know if that makes
Mm.
sense or not, but and a lot of times I'm like, hey,
Bias
hold,
for action.
yeah, move back a little bit, slow down a little bit. So, I think, maybe us planning a little bit better when we launched it, of having that other option of people being able to post their, freelance type stuff on there.
Mm.
Um, that would probably been a plan, but it was hard because there's so many different options you can do with it. And really, the reason behind it totally was not for Anson and I to make any money on it. It was a place where we wanted to bring people together for projects that we see. And we still think that when PulseChain launches, there's going to be, so many projects that are looking for, really skilled people. And there's so many skilled people in this community, man. There's some smart folks.
Well, how are they people finding them? Like how, I imagine that devs get onboarded pretty frequently for Pulse Hex community projects. I'm sure Richard has his own process for interviewing and things. Like, do you know how people are finding it outside of using the job board?
Um, there's some other, obviously there's other job boards, but in our community, I think it's just word of mouth. Cause I mean, really, when you look at this community, it's pretty small, so it's like you kind of know everyone, almost. So I
Yeah.
do see occasionally on Twitter that people will post something on there and they'll have all kinds of responses, like I'm looking for a developer and it'd be, 50 different responses. But, so I think that's how it's been.
Interesting. I just thought that'd be interesting if you could have a like a bot or something that looks for that follows different hexagons, and if they post something about looking for job wanted or help wanted, it'll automatically create that, like kind of take that tweet and turn it into a job and post it on the board automatically. Just
Well,
came across my mind.
that's a good idea, man. Uh,
Yeah, just
I'm
kind of
gonna
like
write.
scrape.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah, kind of scrape the community. I just thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, so you
Yeah,
mentioned that may
yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say, do you think, the way it is now, is there going to be a V2? Do you think it's going to evolve in the future? Do you have any new
Yeah, I
plans or
mean,
new features to release?
it is. It's ever. We're probably gonna have who knows how many versions, but um, I think what we're thinking more of right now is to make it more of kind of like a meetup spot more than anything.
Mm,
Almost like you know what we're finding is in the crypto world is people don't want to fill out anything, right? They don't want to put a
mm,
job in. They don't want to put their email in. They
no
don't.
friction.
Yeah. So we're toying back and forth. We're going to start trying to poll people and talk to people about it, but it may be one of those where we almost like recruiters, where you come to us and
Mm,
we filled the incoming, what you're looking for, and kind of go that way. So that's an option we're thinking about. We're not sure. We just want the community to utilize it. I mean, that's where we're at right now.